Tonight from Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's our ICTN District Game of the Week. Tonight, the Nimitz Vikings with a record of 1-2 entertain the Eagles of Richardson, also with a mark of 1-2. John Nelson along with Rob Williman. Richardson coming off, well, they had an idle week. They haven't played in 2 weeks. They beat South Garland a couple of weeks ago, and the Nimitz Vikings coming off a victory last week over Creekview, 51-21. Richardson averaging 16 points a game. The Nimitz Vikings averaging 33. We're just about set to go with tonight's call. He's revved up. He'll challenge you. He lives his life a quarter mile at a time. Rob Williman.
Bring the thunder. Here we go. Opening night of high school football on ICTN, and Mora kicks it straight away. Still on his feet is Gibson. Gibson is a tough character to bring down. He knocks it over the 30 to the 33-yard line. So the Eagles, who are 1-2, played defensive side first. They won the toss. They deferred. They decided to go ahead and kick it off to the Nimitz Vikings as we take a look at the Viking offense.
All right, here is the offensive line. All seniors, a rather experienced offensive line this year. Coach Rogers glad to have all seniors back on the O-line. Isaiah Gibson, he was injured much of last year. Eric Williams, over 800 yards of rushing. And the signal caller tonight, Pedro Maldonado, the sophomore.
We should see, and I say should, a steady diet of running. That's what the Vikings do best with a single set backfield, and they give it to Williams right out of the chutes. And big O Eric, who seems like we've seen for 10 years, busts a move almost for 10 yards. That's 9, and it'll be second down and 1.
As we said, a little over 800 steps last year, 7 touchdowns, and we may see a steady diet of Eric Williams, and why not, Rob? We saw a lot of yardage from him a season ago.
Well, they really have a good 1-2 punch, to be perfectly honest. When Williams gets a little tired, then Jaden Hall comes in, and he has amounted just as many yards as Williams has. But this is Williams, the first down of the ball game, but hold everything. We've got a penalty flag, and that usually comes from the holding area. Waiting on tonight's official, Mr. Majors.
It is a hole, a spot foul from the point of the hole, which will put it back right at the 30-yard line, call it the 31.
So that erases their first down of the ball game, and they find themselves in a little hole here. This is the first home game for the Nimitz Vikings. First time Coach Rogers says he's ever started the season with 3 consecutive games on the road. But he said he likes playing on the road. It's homecoming tonight, folks, by the way. And they fake the little fly, and they give it to Williams, and Williams crunches the numbers, and he almost has a first down. He's right at about the 40, and that'll set up a 3rd and 2.
All right, here's the Richardson Eagle defense allowing 39 points a game. They play a 3-4-3 alignment. Keep an eye on Burwagon, the defensive tackle number 51. Linebackers should be active tonight. And the secondary as well should be very, very busy trying to contain some of these running plays outside for Nimitz.
Well, the head coach for the Eagles, Pels, he cut his teeth coaching on the defensive side. He's going to have his hands full tonight as once again Eric goes left side. First down of the night for the Vikings, and another 7 yards for Eric.
His team beat Nimitz last year 21-12. Richardson a season ago in District 7-6A had a 5-6 mark. Overall 4-3 in district play.
They're such a young team though, John. They have 9 sophomores on this team. And there's that little quick out screen. Hits number 14, Jalen King. Maldonado does not throw that often. And you don't have to when you have a pretty good running game. But they keep the ball moving, and they're inside the Eagle side of the field for the first time.
Jeremy Reyes, the sophomore, threw a pretty good block and gave his man an extra 6 or 7 yards downfield.
So Coach Rogers comes to Nimitz as an offensive coordinator from MacArthur. And Maldonado keeps that one. Nice move for the first. He fumbles the football. Was he down or not? The officials are saying no, and they're going to move the chains and go the opposite direction. The first turnover of the ball game, and that hurts, John.
Well, they moved 34 yards on the opening series only to give it up. Olin Jackson had a shot at him, the free safety, but then Richardson coming up and able to jar it loose, so they set up shop at their own 35.
So the Vikings get a couple of first downs, eat up some time off the clock, but goes all for naught on the turnover right there.
That's close.
Yeah. Looked like maybe the elbow was down. Nonetheless, here we go for the Eagles. And their first attempt at running the football does not go well, as the quarterback has to go down for it, and they lose 5 yards in the process. Blaine Ritter is your starting quarterback. He doesn't throw a lot, only 23 attempts so far.
Here's the starting alignment for the Richardson Eagles. A couple of seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore on the offensive line. As Rob said, the quarterback tonight, Blaine Ritter. This team averaging 16 points a game and a bevy of wideouts.
His favorite target to the near side of the screen, but they go left to Alcorn. One of those sophomores. They've got their tight end's a sophomore, their running back's a sophomore, and they've got 2 sophomores on the left side of the offensive line. That's youth, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, it is, and a team that's 1 and 2 and everywhere to go but up. There's a front 3. Amaya on the outside, Moralo also 4 linebackers. Jaden Hall with experience, number 11, and the secondary, Nimitz, allowing 23 points a game defensively.
Ritter back the other way to set up the screen. The Vikings were waiting for it. Somehow he escapes, and Alcorn might get past the original line of scrimmage. Man, how did he get out of that? Because the Vikings had it well defended.
Well, he turned one way, then went to the other side, did Alcorn. Alcorn, a sophomore, 1 of 9 for head coach Greg Pells this year. They have 14 seniors and 21 juniors.
So that'll bring up 4th down. And they'll have to punt, and the quarterback, I believe that is Ritter, number 7, standing at his own 23-yard line. 2 Vikings deep, and a pretty good end-over-end kick that Williams made us look at, and it will roll harmlessly in front of Dave Phillips on the sideline.
Inside the 20. Now, Richardson, they did make the playoffs last year. They lost to Arlington Martin 58-14 to go along with that 5-6 record. 2 years ago, they were 500, 5 wins and 5 losses. 14 Letterman return this year for the Eagles, 4 on offense and 3 on the defensive side of the ball.
In fact, the last 3 seasons, not counting that playoff loss, Coach Pells and company, and even 500. They've been 5-5 the last 3 years.
We saw them last year. Remember the game with Irving, 7-3?
Indeed.
Low-scoring contest, and Richardson able to win that game last year over the Tigers.
Dive play, left side. Williams pushes, has some room, has the sideline. Williams tippy toes to the 40. Did he go out of bounds? The official is going to bring it back to the 33-yard line, but John, he's a step away from pay dirt.
Yeah, he kind of got clogged up at the 25, and then Michael James, number 77, the center, came over and wiped out a couple of Eagles on the near side, and Eric Williams almost had open turf all the way.
He's averaging just over 6 yards a carry. 5 touchdowns already this season. That is Gibson moving right in the slot. And Maldonado just hands off right. Williams, look at that hole. And the right side of the line, Flores and Bayakala both doing outstanding job, along with Michael James at center. There's a lot of area to run there, Mr. Nelson.
Nice gain of 14 yards, and he gets to the hole quick, does he not?
He does.
One of 31 seniors this year, 12 juniors, 3 sophomores for head coach Brian Rogers in 2021.
He said this is probably the best knit group he's had in quite some time. No one gets on either side. There's a pass wide open, right side. He also had Gibson wide open in the seam. Maldonado goes to the first receiver. Another first down for the Vikings. And John, except for that fumble on the first series, this offense has had little trouble moving the football.
Well, Maldonado let it go quick. Robertson right in front of Robertson. You'll see number 10, but there he is, and there's another first down. Kind of an extension of a long run.
Left side. Williams again plows in. He's brought down by Cam Reeves, the co-captain, number 1.
Williams, the ball carrier.
Now, Reeves last year led the team in tackles. He had close to 50.
I can
Cameron
see
Reeves,
that.
number 1, senior.
You getting used to the new numbers in the NFL, John?
It takes about 4 weeks.
I was like, where's Jalen Smith? The first time for the Cowboys. Oh, yeah, he's got his old Notre Dame number.
Single digit.
Second, call it 4. Second offensive series, a little pump fake. Maldonado wants to go deep. He's got a man. Did he get it? Yes. Touchdown, Jeremy Reyes. Reyes with his first touchdown of the season, and he had to stretch and give it all he had to get that one.
Well, their second possession, they hit pay dirt, and a nice pass by Maldonado. Reyes able to reel it in and get to the end zone first.
There's the wing blocker on the extra point. There's a low snap. They had trouble once before in their extra points. They'll try to go for 2, and that doesn't count. So they got a touchdown. They fail on the extra point. It was about a minute and a half, 4-play drive, John.
Yeah, overall a march of 82 yards. They started from the 18. There's the shoulder fake. Defensive back able to just look and watch number 19 bringing in Reyes over the shoulder.
Yeah, can you really blame Leon Kroner, the sophomore?
Oh, he bit on
back?
that fake. Yeah, he bit on that pump fake.
Kroner not starting tonight, but in on the second series. Well, that's a good way for Nimitz to start. I mean, they're really showing their prowess offensively in their first 2 series.
Well,
had the fumble, I think they could have had 2 scores.
You know, this team could easily be 3-0. They lost to Princeton by a point. They lost to Wiley East 29-28, and then destroyed Creekview by 30.
Yeah, 50 points. That's rare air for the Vikings offensively. But Coach Rogers told me, he said, you know, listen, it's great to score points. I don't look at the scoreboard. I just want everybody to play, and I want us to have fun. I want us to win. I think win trumps everything.
It'd have been nice, though, to get that extra point.
Isn't it? Yeah, it would be. Here's the kick, and fielded at about the 5 by Grant. Now Grant's got some running room, and he pushes the ball over the 35. They're going to say no. He went down with the knee at the 33.
Well, they started from the 35, their first possession. They had to punt, and their second possession, a pair of 3s. So the onus now on the Viking defense. You know, they give up 23 points a game. Irving High has a good defense this year, and that may be right at the top of the non-district standings as far as points allowed defensively. Lake Highlands is averaging 50. They're the best offensive team through 4 games.
And Richardson not very good defensively, giving up about 39 points a ball game. Left side, not a lot of running room for Caden Alcorn, averaging 4.9 yards a carry for the sophomore.
Alcorn should get a lot of time this year and a lot of touches.
2 yards on the play, 2nd down 8 at the 35.
Haven't seen Ford yet, number 21. They have him as a tight end. Sometimes he'll be in the backfield.
Yeah, he's the other sophomore.
Grant is now to the left of Ritter, and we got a new quarterback in there. And it's going to be a keeper.
19, Howard Armstrong.
Going to run the shotgun, or it's Anderson, number 4. Mulvey is the backup quarterback on the depth chart, but sometimes they'll have Anderson in there and just use him as a running quarterback.
He can also play the slot back position or wing back.
So now Anderson is out, and now they have 19 Armstrong in at quarterback. And Armstrong, he gives to Anderson, and here goes Anderson on the left side for a first down.
Really hammered hard at the 46-yard line. That stretch play, a stretch handoff. Anderson trying to get to the edge first, and he did.
Eagle first down at the 46-yard line.
And now Ritter is back in.
They spot it at the 46.
So Anderson, the third quarterback we've seen, as Coach Pels is doing whatever he can. That one goes off the shoulder pad, incomplete to Alcorn.
Alcorn wasn't ready for it, or either Ritter, under duress, had to let it fly.
Second down 10.
But it hit Alcorn right on the top of the left shoulder pad.
Well, I think when you're struggling offensively, you have to be creative in the plays you call and the type of personnel you get out there to try to find something that works. Obviously, those two plays that worked for them was getting on the edge. So it's 2nd and 10. 4:21 to go before the end of the first quarter of play. Rob Willman with you, along with John Nelson. Alcorn. And he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Alcorn.
Big play that time by, number 27, which is Raymond Perkins, the senior. Coach Rogers has 3 big players on their team. I mean, they're huge. Walpole, Duncan, and Barron. And also Gabriel Cham, number 42. They're huge, but he says some have played football and they quit. Now they're coming back in, and they're just trying to get their feet wet and get back up to the game. But he said, you look at those guys on the field, you think we're just the biggest team out there. This is a completed pass close to the first down. Picked up by Ford. Ford will be about a yard shy.
Nice short possession pass delivered by Ritter. Well, you look at Richardson, Rob. It's the LSU road uniforms. Brian Rogers, the head man, but it looks like an LSU home game. And Ritter wears number 7. It's Burt Jones again. Years ago, Burt Jones at quarterback.
Thinking LSU's in town. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Carbon copy of their unis.
Anderson back in at quarterback, and he will keep for the first down. So you pretty much have an idea when you see 19 as a quarterback that they're going to run the football. He's a running quarterback, like the wildcat position.
Yeah. Grant in as Armstrong checks out.
So they pick up a first down. This drive started at their own 33 3 minutes ago. They've used 3 minutes on the clock. Not a lot of passing. Alcorn up the middle. He is smashed right after about 9 yards. Looked like Hayden Williams, number 12, came up to put a shoulder in him, and that's a lot of shoulder against Alcorn. He's a big man.
Williams, a sophomore, or senior rather, plays that safety spot.
Perkins back out. Williams and Hall are the middle linebackers. This time they go right side. That's Grant. Grant for the first down. So now the Eagles are hitting stride, John.
And right up the middle, just chewing up huge chunks of yardage up the middle, either by Armstrong or on that possession, Grant.
They don't pass a lot. Ritter came in attempting just 23 passes in 3 games. It's just over 7 passes a ball game. But they get the first. This is the farthest they've been in Nimitz territory here in the ball game. Mishandled and fallen on by Ritter. So second mistake now between the quarterback, either the exchange or the center.
Just had to eat it as Washington coming on strong from the outside. Zaylen Washington, number 20. Richardson, again, we said, coming off a 46-28 win 2 weeks ago over South Garland. Opened up the year losing to North Mesquite 35-0, then dropped a 55-3 loss to Garland.
There goes Alcorn, runs up the back of his offensive lineman.
Hayden Alcorn on the carry.
At 3-4 working for the Vikings here in the early go. Jesus Maldonado, number 62, is the nose guard. Pretty much stuffed up the middle on that play.
Raymond Perkins had started to come on, now is back on the sidelines. They wanted him in but pulled him back out.
Looking at Miralurio, number 55, the junior, plays the defensive end spot. Play clock down to 9 seconds on this 3rd and long. And they've got Anderson back in at quarterback. Again, he usually runs. And he's going to go up the middle, and he doesn't fool anybody.
Quarterback Armstrong keeps.
Well done that time by the
Jalen
Vikings, number
Washington
20,
once again on the
Zaylen
tackle.
Washington.
Maybe the last play of the opening quarter.
Could be.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, it's been a action-packed, very quick first quarter of play. Nimitz 6, Richardson nothing. Back with the second quarter in a minute. It's game one for ICTN in this 2021 season. The Nimitz Vikings playing host to the Richardson Eagles. It's homecoming. It all started in the fall of 1982. The ICTN Game of the Week.
Eagles had a 4th down and 15 at the 28.
And here we are again. Glad to have you with us.
Nice drive here by the Eagles.
Now they're going to keep Ritter in at quarterback. Fakes to Alcorn, goes right. Receiver wasn't even looking and is picked off. Picked off at the 22-yard line.
Taking interception number 8, Abdul Barrera.
Well done. They just popped it up in the air, and he was just hoping his prayers would be answered, but Barrera was there for the interception at the 19-yard line. So both teams have now turned it over once.
So much for the nice drive. That was in a trio of Nimitz Vikings. Either one of three could have got it.
The 19-yard line.
Barrera first to hold on to it.
Both teams with one faux pas here in the first half. I'm sure that's one of those plays Ritter would like to have back. He just chunked it. I mean, the rush was on, and he was hoping that his receiver would turn around and look at him. Meanwhile, Maldonado goes right up the middle.
Quarterback Maldonado on the keeper.
He gets about 5-6 in the process.
Bill Wagon on the tackle.
Offensive line anchored by number 77, Michael James, the center,
Up to the
Flores
26.
and Garcia, the guards. Campbell on one
And a
tackle
7.
side, and
Second down 3.
Akala on the other side.
Second down and just 3. Vikings decide to keep it tight. They go to Williams, and he does not have a lot of room.
Rick Williams.
One of the few times, John, that they didn't spread the line out a little bit and have two wide receivers
DeAndre
on each
Smith,
side of the
first
football
among the
spread
Eagles
out,
for the tackle.
therefore making the interior
Remains up to 26,
not quite
third
as
down 3.
bulky, if you will.
Yeah, he drew a crowd very quickly. Praise Lucas, the junior, getting there first.
So a third down. Let's see if they go to the air or not. Fake one way, go Williams the next. Ty Beerwagon, number 51, was the first one to
Williams
wrap
on
him
the
up.
handoff.
He picks up maybe a yard and a half, and they're going to have to punt.
DeAndre Smith, number 11, also in the mix.
Andy Molina, who has handled the kicking duties for the last couple of years, number 81, will come in to punt. This will be the first punt of the night for the Vikings, and it comes at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. What a nice night for football.
Oh, yeah, mid-70s probably right now.
Running for the Vikings.
No wind at all.
Not a lot of wind at all, no.
Jimenez
Just feels good, and
receive.
Coach Rogers is livid because someone did not go out to where they were supposed to on the special teams.
You know, you mentioned practice time that was lost last year, Rob. I've talked to a number of coaches this year. They're just getting back to a full routine. I mean, the players disrupted by school, practice times were different. You always didn't have a full complement of players at practice. A lot of players came, a lot of players left, and a little bit of normalcy now returning in late September.
You're looking at Coach Pels right there. He is in his 6th season. He was at MacArthur, believe it or not. He was hired by Coach Beatty back in 2005. Then became defensive coordinator for Basel in 2013, was the defensive coordinator for Lamar in 2016 before he took over at Richardson. Plenty of time for Molina. He shanks it over here to the near sideline to the Nimitz bench. And we'll see where the official marks it as the Eagles come out offensively.
Homecoming, as Rob said, for the Vikings this last Thursday in September, the second day of fall. Well, let's check out the rest of the district schedule this year for the Vikings. Aside from this game, they got Mack, Irving, Jesuit, Lake Highlands, Pierce, and they'll end the season against the Berkner Rams. That'll be on a Thursday, I believe, November the 4th.
From the 45-yard line.
I heard a real interesting analogy about the weather. This is false fall weather.
Is it?
It's false fall.
Okay.
Everyone thinks fall is here, but we're going to have some more heat, and then we'll finally get the crisp air. Right up the middle, maybe.
Bodies falling all over.
Yeah, Ricky Anderson, number 4.
Well, you had to bring us a little bit of bad. You know, I was hoping whatever you call it, false fall, would just disappear. No, this has to be here to stay. We waited too long. Too many hot summer nights.
Well, the nights feel pretty good, to be honest. Feels good in the morning.
It does.
Right side is Grant. Grant nudges close to the sticks. Could have about a third and a half a yard, maybe.
Barrera underneath. Close. They need to get right to the 45. It's about a half a yard to pick up here.
I would say 2 down territory for sure.
Yeah.
It's so close. You wonder why they never go up under center when you're this close.
On a hard count.
Ritter, he keeps it. Goes right. He's waiting for some movement. Gets the movement. There is some contact, but the ball was not catchable. That'll stop the clock and set up a 4th down and half a yard. Interesting call.
It is, and the more that Ritter was moving towards the sideline, it just gave that much more time for the defensive back to adjust and cover their wide receivers.
Now Armstrong is back in at quarterback.
4th down here, about a half a yard.
Yeah, Armstrong's going to keep this. Maybe Alcorn up the middle, the big hoss, but Armstrong, number 19, and he does keep, and he'll get the 1st down.
Needed a half a yard and picks up 5.
Quarterback Armstrong on the keep.
Vikings a little bit bigger in the interior line this year.
Vermont Perkins on the tackle.
They do alternate their linebackers, even though Williams and Hall may start.
1st down 10.
Got Zaylen Washington now in, number 20. Hall in on the other side. So it's 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. Armstrong still in at quarterback, and he keeps again right up the middle. Somehow gets through an ankle tackle attempt. Piles up 9 more yards.
Nice fake to Ricky Anderson, and it was kept by Armstrong right through the heart of the Viking defense. Still making some adjustments. I believe they're going to bring on Salas as an outside linebacker. Damian Salas, number 24.
Nothing fancy, John, just right up the middle.
There it is, right behind his offensive tackle.
Left side is Alcorn. Player is down for Nimitz. As Richardson on their 3rd offensive series of the ball game.
Can't tell. It looks like
interior guy,
55,
and a big guy.
One of the defensive tackles. Yeah, maybe the junior Malario. Nimitz last year 3-6 overall, 2-5 in the district. 24 Letterman returning this year for head coach Rogers. 5 starters on offense, 7 on defense. 2 years ago they were 2-8, and a chance tonight to even up at 2-2. But Rob, in all fairness, the non-district games are over. These are the only games that count. You're really positioning yourself as of tonight for the playoffs. You're hoping to get one of those first 4 spots in district play, but the playoff race starts tonight.
It's like last year. Richardson finished 5-5, but they made postseason.
Yep.
And that's what you have to do. Now, at this point, Lake Highlands is far superior than anyone else in the district.
Yeah, they're a team to beat.
And then you always have Jesuit, who's usually pretty solid. So that leaves a couple of openings. We'll look at the standings in district and see how things pile up.
Yeah, Jesuit at 2-1 in non-district play. Then that log jam, Mac, the Tigers, the Vikings, and Richardson all at 1-2. And Pierce and Berkner winless in non-district play.
It's like the Richardson-Irving district is what it is. Then you throw Jesuit in for good measure.
First down,
Yeah, kind of a carbon copy.
27.
All right, first down. Player gets helped off the field. Anderson goes right side, avoids a couple of tackles, and nudges across the 20 down to the 18-yard line.
Tell you what, they run hard. Gilbert Flores in for Milario, number 55. Gilbert Flores, a senior, wears number 56.
Second down, 1 at the 18.
They do, John, and it seems like here in the first half, if the Vikings can wrap up at the initial spot at the line of scrimmage, or the first time they get that push, the initial push, they're good. But, man, they let those backs get to that next level. They seem to reel off about 8 or 9 yards. And here comes Coach Pels running down the sideline, and he wants a timeout before they get a delay of game.
I saw him. He started at about the 45.
He did, didn't he?
Ran 20 quick yards and got the attention of his team.
First time out of the half.
Richardson was formed in 1910, John.
Oh, 100-plus years and then some.
Yeah, they've had 45 winning seasons in the university. Meanwhile, the Nimitz Vikings, a little younger. They were formed in 1968.
Coach Pels to the cardboard play book. Trying to design something. He sure wanted that timeout. 6:28 to go in the opening half, and the Vikings on top 6-0. Put together a nice 82-yard drive. Maldonado's touchdown pass to Jeremy Reyes, the only scoring so far.
Ritter has thrown 3 touchdowns. He has 2 to the top and 1 single coverage at the bottom, and he has a man in motion, and they go left side, and not much there for Anderson.
Anderson, the ball
Well,
carrier.
that jet sweep. Hayden Williams dragging down
Jaden Hall and
Anderson
Jaden
from
Williams
behind,
combined
preventing a
for
further
tackle.
gain of yardage.
No gain.
Jaden Hall, number 11,
Third
also
down,
in.
1.
In on the stop. 3rd and short. This is 2-down territory once again. This drive started at the 9:45 mark. They've almost had the ball 4 minutes of play.
37 yards on this current drive.
They give to Grant, and Grant is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to go and nowhere to hide.
Marcus Grant.
Nice job of stuffing that up. Jordan Amaya
2-yard loss.
among 3 Vikings. Amaya number 41.
Down 3.
Vikings with the bright, shiny silver helmets this year. The gray uniforms and the purple numbers trimmed in white.
It's kind of a Memphis Tiger look.
It is. Maldonado, not the biggest, tallest guy out there, but he plugs the middle quite well, and now we got a 4th down and 3. Armstrong in at quarterback. He keeps, he's wrapped, and down he goes.
Number 11 knocked him down first. Jaden Hall. Hall able to make the contact first. Then had support. Flores among the other 3. Maldonado got a piece of him as well.
You can only go to that play so often before a good team will make adjustments and make you pay, and that's what happened there. Right at the line of scrimmage, he was first hit, it looked like by Hall, number 11, that slowed things down, but then the troops came to the rescue, and they turn the ball over. Maldonado to Williams. Here comes Eric. Makes another miss and picks up a first down.
Did a little stutter step at the 30. Able to gain 5 more yards as he turned it back towards the center. Inside the numbers.
Ronnie Cunningham on the tackle. Not before 13 yards.
Nice first half rushing wise. Eric Williams, senior. Also, if needed, could play linebacker.
Vikings still with 2 timeouts to go.
It's our 4th possession of the half.
Taking your time, go right side to Williams. Corralled down by Lucas, number 65. Now see, for an old guy like myself, Richardson's uniforms are perfect. White with the numbers, huge for old man eyes.
It's a color rush thing.
Is that what it is?
White on white, numbers stand out, nice looking helmets.
They're just so easy to read. 2nd and short. Viking offense going to the well again to Williams, and Williams just on sheer power and strength will get another first down for these Vikings.
They're close to 28 yards on this drive. They've got time under 4 minutes, leading 6-zip.
Remember, Eric came in with 282 yards on 46 carries after 3 weeks of play.
Jaden Hall back in at a running back.
So it will be Hall's turn, who averages about 14 yards a carry. A little quicker, not as big, but much quicker. And you can see him turn the corner there. And he is pushed out of bounds, but not until the Vikings, do they get the first down?
Well, they needed to get to the 42. Right on that. I believe they got it.
Yep, they're going to give it to him.
Yeah.
So Hall brings you another dimension when he's in there. He's a lot quicker, John.
Well, you had Robertson having to come over from a safety spot to track down the Viking running back Hall, but not before he collects the first down.
They fake to Hall. Ooh, right down the middle, and there was a wide open receiver. Tried to get it to Gibson. And Maldonado led him, I think, just a little too much. Great call. You run, and then you lull him to sleep. And Gibson running the slant pattern, the little streak right down the middle.
As we mentioned, injured most of last year, Isaiah Gibson, now a senior.
A lot of experience on this Viking team. 2nd down. Clock stops at 3:24. We go to the quarterback. He will keep. And Maldonado may get a couple on that.
Trying to ride it over the right side, the short side of the field. They need about 6 now.
So the last 2 plays, the Viking coordinators have opted to keep it away from the running back Hall. They tried to go to Gibson for one. The quarterback kept for the other. You know, those are just plays, obviously, you try to do good on, but at the same time, you got to keep the defensive honest. And they've got like 6 guys stacked on the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback keeps. Maldonado in the flat, complete, and a nifty move by Gibson. Oh, and he runs over a guy at the 22.
Just for good measure.
Oh, my.
Isaiah Gibson. Nice catch and run.
Did you see the end of that play? Wait a minute. Were they going to say he went out of bounds? Are they going to say he used his head because he lowered his head?
He may have stepped out about the 27.
Oh, they're going to say, you watch. They're going to say he used his head.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 19 of the offense. It'll be first down after the enforcement of the 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down, Nimitz.
The old taunting.
Well, I don't know if we have the end of that play or not, but Reyes, number 19, caught for taunting. There's the little play in the flat that Gibson just makes a great move. And Reyes is right there. And because he was, I guess because he was looking down at the player. That they don't They're really turning up the heat on that play, John, of where you can't look down at the player after he gets run over.
It cost him 15 yards. Cam Height was just drilled in the grill. Slow to get up, and then Reyes came over and let him know, hey, we picked up that first down. Why didn't you make the tackle?
So he gets the first. So it's 1st and 10. But they're pretty much where they were before. Maldonado calling a screen. Good call. Can they split the zone? They get most of the 10, right up to the 34-yard line.
Still have time, 2:32.
And it's Hall, number 11. Screenplay is so difficult to execute. Roger, he used to do that so well when he was a Cowboy. He could play that screen. Then they did the double screen where they faked a screen to one side and he'd go to the other.
And then Dorsett could run that play better than anybody.
2nd down. Left side. Quarterback keeps. Maldonado, good blocking downfield. Maldonado at the 10. Touchdown.
35 yards. Pedro Maldonado, he's thrown for one and has now run for one.
That was all due to downfield blocking by the receivers. Downfield blocking, you're taught it since you start playing football at a young age. And that was the key to that long run to cap off that drive, and now the Vikings must go for 2.
Able to overcome the personal foul penalty. Man short.
He was going to come back out there. It appeared to me they were going to run, try to get the 2-point conversion. Maybe Richardson did not bite on it. Maldonado splits the uprights there, and it's 13-0.
That caps off a drive of close to 80 yards, 78 yards on Nimitz's drive, their 4th possession. And Maldonado, as you said, Rob, he got those wide receivers. He got that downfield blocking at about the 25. Got another nice block at the 15. And tight ropes it all the way in. We have a flag on the far side.
We do. Is it illegal substitution? Nope.
On the offense. On the 19. 4 yards, and let's make the kick.
Well, not a good night for Reyes, is it?
Yeah, that's his 2nd in 3 plays.
There's Coach Rogers in disbelief.
He's going to make it about a 25-yard extra point.
Well, he did okay on the last one.
Yeah.
It's just the exchange. That's what happened to them a couple of weeks ago on that 1-point loss. The snap to the holder was bad, and that's why they ended up losing by a point. They're going to try it again. Looks good for the 2nd time, and it is. Well done, fellas.
Yeah, Molina able to dot the I. And a 13-0 shutout going so far here in the first half for the Vikings.
That's what happens when you just keep giving it to your receiver. Sooner or later, the quarterback's going to keep it, and that's what happens here.
All right, Maldonado looks inside, now goes it outside the numbers. Gets a nice convoy along the way and able to outrace number 25, Cameron, to the double stripe.
Don't know if we have an end zone look at that or not. Would love to see what receiver that was on the far side that made the block, but he was locked up with the corner. And Maldonado just cut up instead of out, and that's all he needed. Had the escort. Let's look at it from the another angle from ground. No, one touch right there. There's one guy to touch him, and that was it.
I was hoping Curtis Strome wouldn't not throw a block or push somebody in the back on the other side. Curtis had to kind of hold up and did the right thing.
He did. So they kick it straight away. Filled it at about the 1-yard line. It's picked up by Grant. He goes out about the 18. Scratch that Anderson.
Flattened hard at the 18. The last 3 possessions for the Eagles, they have punted, They turned it over on the interception, and the ball went over on down. So here they are, their fourth possession with under 2 minutes to operate.
Nimitz Viking drive was 78 yards, 8 plays, used up about 3 minutes, but more importantly, it was the Maldonado 35-yard touchdown that did the trick. We have an illegal procedure penalty against Nimitz. I would say in the first half, John, the fumble by the quarterback, which I don't know, it looks like at one point it looked like maybe the ball had hit the ground, or nonetheless, a turnover. And then just a few penalties. That's really the two things that has hurt the Vikings here in the first half. Otherwise, that offense has done extremely well. And the defensive side has bent a lot, but when it came down to it, they were able to zero in on a play and made it count.
Yeah, that nice 8-play drive certainly took the pressure off of that.
So Molina tee it off again. Good leg. Look at that. All the way to the goal line.
Kickoff goes through the end zone.
Richardson will take over at their 20-yard line. It is homecoming, folks. That means at halftime we'll have the announcement of the homecoming queen and her court.
That was a nice kick. 65 yards in the air, non-returnable. After the 5-yard penalty.
We've seen Molina for about 3 years now. So let's see how the Eagles approach the final $152 and how far back defensively the Vikings. And we've got either a timeout. Yes, Coach Rogers got that off just in the nick of time. He had too many players on the field. An assignment issue.
That's their second.
Had 12 guys out there. One guy was running off as fast as he could, and Ritter was trying to snap the ball before he could get off, and Rogers saw everything crumbling down in front of him. He said, we got to call time.
Yeah, Anderson was wide open on that reception, and he had one-on-one coverage with Griffin. So a good thing for the Vikings to put a halt to that play.
Rogers goes, I need to breathe deep. I'm going to get dizzy. So we'll see how the Eagles and Coach Pels decides to approach this. They haven't thrown that often. They were starting to do fairly well running the football. They've got Ricky Anderson in the backfield along with Alcorn.
One-on-one coverage here to the outside. The near side.
Now they have two. Ford's in the slot. Ritter. Looks like they want to set up the screen, and Nimitz said, yeah, we know.
Well, they overloaded the left side. They go to the short side, and number 56 right in the middle, Flores.
He's got the number 56, Gilbert Flores.
Got to hand it to the Viking defensive unit at this point, John. It seems like they haven't been fooled very few times tonight.
It's a 7-yard loss on first down.
Gilbert Flores, a senior, not even listed second on the depth chart, and he's out there making noise. Anderson, quick toss. Popped around like a pinball. It's most of that back.
That's the play they wanted before the Vikings called a timeout.
And they're going to do it again.
Sure wanted Anderson isolated on someone.
And a man in motion is Alcorn. They throw to Alcorn. It's picked off. It's picked off at the 20, and then see you later. Picked off by number 24, Damian Salas. And he read that like a good book.
Wide open, full momentum. Salas had nobody in front of him. That pass a little behind the receiver, but Salas, as you said, Rob, just read it perfectly and got to it first.
Well, do you go for 2 yet? And the special teams are a little confused, and Rogers is looking around like, where's my player? It's the quarterback, Maldonado. He's the holder.
Now you can break the huddle with 10. You can't break the huddle with 12, or that's a penalty, and they're still not set up.
Fortunate enough for Rogers, he had one more timeout in his pocket with 36 seconds to go.
Now the second interception by the Eagles cost them 6.
The third and final timeout of the half.
And now trailing by 19.
I would go for 2.
Well, special
What's
teams,
the book say, John?
The book says 2.
Yeah, go for 2.
At this point, it says a deuce. Well, big score right before the half. Number 24, Damian Salas. The pass will go to the right side. There's Salas at about the 29 or 28. And what a feeling, nobody behind you.
Pretty good speed for a linebacker, huh?
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
He's an outside backer. Excellent jump on that. And they're going to stick for the 1-point try.
Well, you hope this is good after all the misplay.
And it is. 20-0 with 36 seconds to go before the half.
Now they come up with a 14-point second quarter. That's just a gift. That's what you dream.
Don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip.
It's so easy.
Don't trip.
They'll never have an easier pickoff.
And from the end zone, I believe, we have one more look at Damian's moment in the sun. Alcorn, did you see the reaction of the running back?
Yeah,
he just pulled off the side of the road after that.
Became a statue.
Andy Molina.
So we're down by 3.
Not a good first half for the Eagles. 2 interceptions. Ball going over on downs and the punt. 2 turnovers.
They have 44 on the roster. 30 of the 44 are juniors or younger. So maybe youth inexperience. Hey, we've done games where the Irving teams have been on the other side of that. So take the money and run. Anderson at the goal line. Bottled up, 15, maybe 16. Special teams have stayed in their lanes and done quite well tonight for the Vikings. 30 seconds before the break, and Richardson will take over at their own 15. Try to go for the bomb. You take a knee. You get the ball back. Richardson do. They'll get the ball to start the second half.
Kind of depends on where Anderson lines up, number 4.
Yeah, is Ritter going to be the quarterback? Is, you know.
Armstrong also. You got another wide out, Cam Height.
They just turn left and give to Alcorn.
Simonenko was on this side of the receiver. Not Height.
If he did get out of bounds, then the clock will not start until the snap of the ball.
DBs are back at the 40.
It's like a cover 4. Not a cover 2, it's a cover 4. Alcorn again, pushed around. You know, we haven't seen the Viking defensive front push people around like this in quite a while.
No, they just own that area.
They've done extremely well to control the line of scrimmage. Alcorn had nowhere to go. He tried to go right side, and he got tangled up first. by Maldonado Jesus, number 62, and his friends take care of business. So what an enjoyable homecoming for the Nimitz Vikings here in the first half. They're off to a 20-0 lead against the Eagles in the first game of district in 2021. It's halftime. We'll have highlights, stats, and we'll announce the homecoming queen. That's coming up after this.
Next is freshman princess Camilla
The Vikings are out, the homecoming king and queen nominees making their way towards midfield. A 20-0 Nimitz halftime lead over the Richardson Eagles. And let's go down to the field and enjoy the homecoming activities here at Nimitz High.
Contreras. Our freshman prince is Zander Ramos. He's being escorted by his mother, Lori Gregory, and Natalie Narvaez. Our final freshman prince is Brady Pike. He is the son of Tamara and Joey Pike. He is being escorted by his mom, Tamara, and brother, Billy. Next, we will introduce our sophomore homecoming court. Our first sophomore princess is Azarelli Canelo. She is being escorted by her parents, Alberto and Priscilla Canelo. Next is sophomore princess Natalie Garcia. She is the daughter of Martha Arenas, and she's being escorted tonight by Juan Garcia. Our final sophomore princess is Jocelyn Zamora. She is the daughter of Irene Ibarra and Juan Zamora. She's being escorted tonight by her father, Juan. Our first sophomore prince is Jesus Castillo. He is the son of Maria Botello and Jesus Castillo. He is being escorted by his friends, Jessica Pablo and Vivian Alvaredo. Next is sophomore prince Lai Win. He is the son of Hannah and John Wynn. He is being escorted this evening by his cousin, Min Wynn. Our final sophomore prince is Zaylin Washington. He is being escorted by his two sisters, Randea and Lucrecia Thomas. Next, our junior homecoming court. Our first princess is Jumana Degani. She is being escorted by mother, Frida Degani, and her father, Shabrir Degani. Next is junior princess Erica Gonzalez. She is the daughter of Juan and Olivia Gonzalez. She's being escorted by her sister, Joanna Gonzalez, and Angel Garcia. Our final junior princess is Sofia Romero. She is the daughter of Rene Romero and Bernice Moreno. She is being escorted by her father, Rene, and brother, Liam. Next is our junior prince, Nicholas Coronado. He is being escorted tonight by his father, Victor, and his mother, Ana Coronado. Next is junior prince, Darius Dockery. He is being escorted by his mother and father, Kimberly Williams, and Demetrius Dockery Sr. Our final junior prince is Isaiah Salamanca. He is being escorted this evening by his parents, Robert and Valerie Salamanca. Finally, our senior homecoming court. We start with senior princess Joanna Andaho. She is being escorted by her parents, Amanda and Adolfo Andaho. Next is senior princess Teresa De Paulo. She's being escorted by her brothers, Corey and Colin Pollard. Our third princess is Millie Gallardo. She is being escorted tonight by her father, Juan Pablo Gallardo, and mother, Erica Ramirez. Next, our fourth senior princess is Lucy Mao. She is the daughter of Suong Thatch. She's being escorted by her mother, Suong, and her boyfriend, Armani Valero. Our final senior princess is Kaylee Reyes. She is the daughter of Florida Reyes. She's being escorted tonight by her mother, Florida, and Anthony Reyes. Our first senior prince is Colin Caldwell. He is being escorted by his parents, Richard and Carrie Caldwell. Next is senior prince Gilbert Flores. He is the son of Gilbert and Martha Flores. He is being escorted tonight by both his mother and father. Our third senior prince is Isaiah Gibson. He is the son of Sonia Gibson. Tonight he is being escorted by his football coach, Cameron Swisher. Next is senior prince Jacob Hernandez. He is being escorted by his mother, Laura Alardi, and father, Luis Hernandez. Finally, our senior prince is Xavier Parks. Tonight, he is being escorted by his mother, Lillian Irvin, and his father, John Parks. Now we will begin with the crowning of our 2021 Homecoming Royalty by Nimitz Principal Francisco Miranda Jr., Assistant Principal Wendy Trammell, and Assistant Principal Amanda Brown. The 2021 Freshman Prince is Zander Ramos. The 2021 Freshman Princess is Camila Martinez. The 2021 Sophomore Prince is Zaylin Washington. The 2021 Sophomore Princess is Azareli Cadello. The Junior Prince is Darius Dockery. And the 2021 Junior Princess is Erica Gonzalez. And now, your 2021 Valhalla Homecoming Queen is Lucy Mao. And the 2021 King of Valhalla is Mr. Xavier Parks. Let's give a final round of applause for the 2021 Homecoming Court Royalty, King and Queen. Congratulations to all of our students who are nominated. You may now exit the field.
Lucy Mao, congratulations to Lucy, the 2021 Homecoming Queen here at Nimitz High. Her Vikings leading Richardson to the tune of 20-0. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. In the first 24 minutes, Nimitz took the opening kickoff. They started from the 32. They fumbled. Here's some of the drive, setting up the first touchdown in the second possession. Pedro Maldonado fighting Jeremy Reyes down the left side, 28 yards in all. Extra point no good. 6-0 Vikings with 5:53 left to go in the first quarter. Marcus Grant has some nice running room as he cuts it back against the green, number 6 for the Richardson Eagles. And then the interception here, this ball hung up way too long for Ritter as the Vikings intercept. That's her first of 2 interceptions, so the Vikings go back to work on their third possession. Eric Williams, here's some of his 80 yards of rushing. He had 10 carries for 80 yards in the first half. And then the pass and run, you're going to see quite a collision here at the end as the Vikings on the march here on their possession following a punt. An 8-play, 35-yard drive capped off by the Maldonado 35-yard run to pay dirt. That made it 13-0 with a minute 59 to go in the half. And then Ritter picked off by Salas. Damian Salas wide open, takes it to the Casa, 28 yards in all for the interception return. A 20-0 halftime lead for the Nimitz Vikings at their second interception in the first half. Ritter picked off twice. Numbers-wise, the Vikings with more first downs, 5 of 6 in the passing department, 71 yards up top. The Eagles held to 19 yards in the air. They had 74 steps on the ground, 222 total yards for Nimitz in the first half. Hurts of turnovers. The Eagles were not penalized. The Vikings drew 4 flags for 35 yards. So big plays by Maldonado and Salas in the first half for the Vikings. They lead at 20-0. Rob Willman back for the second half kickoff right after this.
So we're about ready for the start of the third quarter of play. Your Nimitz Vikings up on top 20-0. Homecoming 2021 here on ICTN. Glad you could join us for our first of 6 games during the high school football season. The Richardson Eagles won the toss and they deferred. And so they will get the ball back to start the third quarter of play. The question is, I guess, from their vantage point, is can they keep the turnovers down and the mistakes down? And it just has to be turnovers, as John alluded to in the halftime statistics. The Eagles have yet to commit a penalty. And only 4 flags against the Vikings, so it was a pretty good first half as far as clean football is concerned.
We'll see this Richardson team, or Mac will, later in the year on the 22nd. Aside from this game, they've got the Tigers. They play the Rams, crosstown rival. Then Pierce, Mac, Lake Highlands, and Jesuit. That Mac game here is on October 22nd. So 2 looks at the Richardson Eagles this year. Later this week, we'll have the Irving Tigers against the Rams of Richardson Berkner.
We alluded to the start of district and how important this first win out of the gate is for both teams. You lose that first one, then all of a sudden you might have to win a game you really are predicted not to win.
Well, you know, the first, you don't have to be great, just be good.
Start of the second half, and
the Vikings were very good in the first half.
Just be solid.
Yeah.
They came in with a really good offense. They came in with a good running game. They just sprinkle a pass or two to keep the defense honest, and that's what they did. They played their type of ball in the first half, and then a tip of the hat to the defensive unit against a team that has been struggling offensively. So we're underway to begin the second half, and right up the middle and a lot of running room. The Richardson Eagles will set up shop at their own 35-yard line.
It's a 29-yard kickoff return.
Jimenez with that. And, you know, John, you would have to think that Richardson, you don't want to panic just yet, but they may need to be a little more wide open, a little more aggressive offensively here in the second half.
We'll see how active that Anderson is here in the second half, and Armstrong, number 19.
Yeah, well, they let Armstrong run it more, and there's another mishandle. So they start out of the gate like they did in the first half. Remember, one of the first 2 or 3 snaps, to the quarterback, Ritter, that was a low one, and they muffed.
Some of those basic plays will cost you yardage, and that one cost them a lot.
Tom Gentile is the center. He's a senior.
7, second down.
They have two sophomores on the left side, but it's the senior.
Loss of 7.
And here they go again. Near side rushes on. Ritter pump fakes, and then he might have gotten hit at the same time he let go. Is there a flag down at the line of scrimmage? Right about the 32.
Incomplete. Third down, 17.
Or is it just someone's?
Yeah,
it must be someone's part of the uniform.
Yeah,
so
no flag. He tried to get her to Ty Mulvey. Mulvey, the wide out on the near side, but well overthrown.
Mulvey, who they also use as a running back on the jet sweep on occasion. Alcorn came in averaging close to 5 yards a carry. He's in the backfield trying to block for Ritter, and then he just watches one Nimitz Viking just go running past him. That was Hall, number 11.
It's fourth down.
Alcorn just stopped, and Ritter just kept rolling to the near side, and right down the A train is Jaden Hall, who almost got to the quarterback.
Really hounded him. Had to get rid of it quick, so a -7 on their first possession of the second half.
Not a good way to start if you're Richardson, but a great way to start for Nimitz. And they can just start using the clock. I know it's early, folks. I know it's just the third quarter, but that's the way things usually work out. There's some wide open spaces. Ball is dropped and fumbled, and, well, it was almost fallen upon by number 8 for the Vikings, which was Barrera, and instead of just falling on it, Barrera tried to pick up and run it.
On the play,
lost it twice.
Following the punt return.
Had a nice return of 14 yards, and then it all just fell apart. Right in the middle of it, Donovan Simonuk, number 18.
Well, the officials are going to have a powwow. You see the yellow flag there in the background.
On the return, there's a block in the back on number 28 of the receiving team. That penalty will be declined. First down, Richardson.
The Dallas chapter, Paul Majors is tonight's referee and the rest of his crew. So a fumble punt return by the Vikings. They turn it right back over to the Eagles at the 40.
That changes the complexity a little bit for the Vikings. Right side, 7, maybe 6 yards. Ford, check that, 4 yards. Donovan Ford, the sophomore.
Donovan Ford.
Let's go back to the fumble recovery by the Eagles.
Second down 6 from
Well,
the
we won't, but he
36.
dropped it twice. Bottom line is the Eagles have it, and it's second down and about 7.
Ford split to the top of the screen. They now have Armstrong in at quarterback. And he takes it to the 30, close enough for a first down, or it should be. Keep rolling the clock.
Gonna be a little short.
Yeah.
31, third down,
Length of the
1.
football.
You know, they got a gift. This is a key possession for the Eagles to try to get back in this game.
Howard Armstrong, number 19. Want to call it the pistol, the wildcat, whatever. And he is wrapped up nicely behind the line of scrimmage. Well done by Mr. 11. That is Jaden Hall, who hasn't played a lot at running back, but they've needed him defensively at linebacker, and that quick speed, he just shoots the gaps.
Fourth down 2 at 32.
And made the play there on the quarterback.
Lost a yard and a half. Brings up fourth down.
That's what you do, John. You get a linebacker, you spy on the quarterback.
He just knocked him down hard. I mean, he got there quick.
Alcorn left. He gets met by the linebacker again, but not until the first down, and he keeps the drive alive for the Eagles.
Jordan Amaya on the tackle.
3 yards on the play, good for a Richardson first down at the 29-yard line.
5th play of the drive, since that one took 4 downs just to get the first. If you're Richardson, you just don't panic. Ritter in the flat to Alcorn. Breaks 2 tackles and ends up maybe with 5.
Ritter completes
Perkins,
Alcorn.
one of the guys out there along with Salas defensively.
Damian Salas, number 24 on the tackle.
Alcorn's the type of guy you better wrap up. He's got thick legs. You get those motoring and it's tough to make a tackle, and we've got a whistle. An official's timeout. Coach Rogers.
Official timeout to fix the chain.
Does he want an explanation?
The clock will start.
Play gained 4 yards, swing pass.
Look at Alcorn right there. Little maintenance over at the chain gang.
This is a good crowd tonight. Homecoming here for Nimitz High. Great turnout by the student body on either side.
Oh yeah, Nimitz has a really good turnout tonight. Alcorn left.
Alcorn.
Looking at the chain gang, I was at a game last week, where they have the down marker that's lit.
Gain of 5.
Automatic, it's
Down 1 at the
digital,
20.
trimmed in bright red. You can see it from the airport, it's so bright.
Yeah, the state championship games every year at AT&T Stadium, the crew have those markers for every game.
Armstrong met with some resistance. Love the gang tackling this year. Everybody in on it.
Jordan Amaya there in the mix, number 41.
Also 62, Jesus Maldonado, the senior, number 62.
He'll come out.
Eagles really using a lot of the play clock between plays. The huddle's a thing of the past. The linemen may get together and talk things over, but receivers stay out. Armstrong stays in at your quarterback. Haven't seen him throw a lot. He's going to fake a run and maybe throw here, but here comes the pressure, and he'll lose a couple of yards.
Waited a little bit too long.
Washington, number 20. He was part of the halftime festivities.
Yeah, they had about 3 or 4 players suited up.
Amaya, 41. Watch the pursuit. He gets away from one, but then Amaya, number 41, just grabs him around the waist and says, uh-uh. 2nd and 12. Alcorn dances for 2, maybe. Eagles have got to use every down at their disposal if they're going to get back in the ball game. They have eaten up most of this 3rd quarter. Nimitz yet to touch the football offensively in the 3rd quarter since they fumbled a punt.
I think I'd like to run behind Jacob Calicut, number 62, on the right side.
He's the senior member of that. They run that wide receiver screen and another outstanding play, this time by number 4. That is Tobias Walter, the senior. Great open field tackle, and the one thing I've noticed about the Vikings this year, John, is how well they've been tackling.
Yeah, Walker, he didn't wait for the receiver to come to him. He came to him first without giving up hardly any kind of yardage.
Tony, number 3, checks in. Salas checks out. So they throw in another DB for this 4th down and 9 play. There's Coach Pells there. Was the defensive coordinator at Arlington Lamar. Was also part of that Coach Beatty team, or Coach Beatty hired him and he stayed around as the defensive coordinator for Basel. Coach Beatty, who would think he'd end up in a D1 college coaching position at Kansas? Of course, it's not the one everyone wants to go to, but
it's Big 12. It's, you know.
Yeah. He hung around for a couple of years and they let him go early. Then he had to sue the university for money owed. He said they owed him $3 million. I think he got about 2.5, 2.7 mil in a settlement. Lawyers probably got some of that, but
Well, Billy Skinner, the coach at MacArthur last year, is now the head coach at Arlington Lamar. So Billy Skinner took about 8 coaches with him from MAC, and we will see them in a couple of weeks.
here we go. 4th down. We've got Ritter back in. Alcorn goes in motion, so no one in the backfield. 4 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. So he fakes left, wants to go to Alcorn. He goes to the receiver in the end zone, and it's knocked away. Nicely done there in the corner by Griffin, number 9, the junior, Omari Griffin, who was back there against Seminuk, number 18.
Both of them almost ran out of room at that back pylon. And able to stay with it, Omar Griffin, a junior. As the ball goes over, that drive by Richardson, they collected 23 yards, but they have to give it up.
So with just a few seconds, over 5 minutes in the 3rd quarter, Nimitz with their first offensive play of the 2nd half, and they go to Williams.
Look at this.
And Williams is met by probably 8 of the 11 defenders. He's like, I waited a whole quarter for that.
Eagles just empty the nest. They sent everybody. Birds flying everywhere.
You got to think that after seeing such a heavy dose of Williams in the first half, they're like, okay, someone else has got to beat us. It's like the Chargers last week told the Cowboys, okay, well, we're going to make your running game beat us, and they were able to do that.
Mr. Pollard.
He was a good one.
Memphis Tiger, ex-Memphis Tiger.
There goes Gibson to the right side. Maldonado keeps. Goes underneath the tackle of Smith, number 11. Second on the team in tackles with 18. Maldonado, not the biggest guy out there.
Now he got hit hard down under by Lucas, number 65.
Yeah, he's short-statured enough. He can duck under those tackles.
They've got Jacob Sanchez in, number 15, as a wideout on the far side.
Quick handoff, right side. Williams just picks the moves. Nick Murphy, 75, one of the guys up there in on the stop. Also big number 74, which is Ruffin. He's a senior. There he is right there coming off. He roughed him up, didn't he?
Yeah, he got his attention quickly.
Yeah, it's an old dad joke we have to integrate into high school football on Fridays.
Only took the first game to get it in.
Well, it took till the 3rd quarter.
Well, again, they're a man short. Broke the huddle with 10.
Here comes Hall.
11 now.
Here comes Salas. I would say that probably needs to be worked on a little bit.
There, he's just livid on the sideline.
Coach Rogers is going to need a new headset for next week's game. You know, he said, we talked about earlier how he enjoys the road games. He goes, he feels like the kids are more in tune. They ride the bus together. It's a longer stretch of bus ride, and he likes that camaraderie. He said the offense never yells at the defense, and the defense never yells at the offense. But you might want to yell at the special teams.
You got on it pretty good.
Why not?
YouTube, the place to go to watch all these games online. YouTube.com/the City of Irving. First game of 2021.
Andy Molina, punt. Stand at his own 11. Bad snap. Here comes the rush. Run, Andy, run. Just hold on to it, young man.
Well, after all of that confusion, they can't get it back to the punter in time, and they turn it over. Boy, you talk about a short field here. Eagles going to have it inside the 20.
Well, every time in this quarter, the Vikings have given the Eagles great opportunity. They stop them, then they fumble the punt, They stop them, then they fumble the snap. So here's the defensive unit called out again. What, 3 plays for the offense for Nimitz here in the third quarter. Armstrong, hands off. Anderson, tackled. Guess who it is again? Jaden Hall, number 11. Maybe one of the MVPs defensively in this ball game, John.
Another solo tackle by a senior inside linebacker.
He just uses that speed to break the gap.
Well, he splits the crease. I mean, he finds that opening.
By far, he is the leader of that defensive unit. Armstrong back in at quarterback, and what does he do? He wants to run the football. Not a lot of room. There's Hall, submarines him. Maybe a pickup of 2. Eric Williams, the running back, now comes in.
Try to cut it back to the inside. The Vikings held their ground. Nada.
So going out is Raymond Perkins. And now you have both the running backs, Williams and Hall, playing middle linebacker for the Vikings on this 3rd down and 8. Ritter hands off up the middle, big hole by Ford.
Man, that's close. I don't know if he got it or not. Went down quickly. Donovan Ford.
Yeah, they're going to say maybe a yard or 2 short. They use him sparingly. He had 56 yards and a touchdown coming in. So this time they keep Ritter in instead of Armstrong on this 4th down and 1. It's a low snap. Oh, and he's met at the line and dropped. That was Williams.
He just stoned him.
Oh, my.
Eric Williams just stood him up. And they have held.
Rogers told me sometimes you've got to put your best guys out there.
We mentioned in the first half he can also play linebacker. He comes on and just annihilates the runner.
Oh, man. See, now you can see why Hall and Williams are in the middle.
Well, what a disappointing drive. They set up shop at the Viking 18. The drive ends at the 12. So they get nothing out of that.
Second possession of the second half. And they go right side. And a leap and a grab and a first down is number 11, Jaden Hall. So Williams makes a big play defensively. They let Jaden carry the ball offensively. Ironically, the guys come in, both Hall and Williams come in with exactly the same amount of yards after 3 weeks, John, 282.
That's a quick burst over the right side, gained 11.
You know, Coach Rogers told me that's, you get Hall out there and you have to adjust. It's not a power back, it's a speed back, and he's behind you before you know it. This time they adjust, and there's that big O number 74 again, Stephon Ruffin, the senior. He is a heavy guy to move.
Fills up that jersey pretty. It's pretty tight, isn't it?
It is.
Can't grab a hold of that.
He's usually where Nick Murphy plays. And they're going to let that clock wind down, and why not? You've got a 20-point lead, you've got the football, and you've got 1 more quarter to go. We have finished 3, headed for 4. Nimitz 20, Richardson nothing. Back with the final quarter in a moment. Nimitz has a 2nd down and 9 as we start the 4th quarter of play. They don't have to do anything fancy. They just have to play ball control.
A couple of first downs and pretty good shape.
Hall is still in the backfield. And they give to Hall, who tippy-toes before he finds an opening. garners about 6 on the play.
Draw play, nice surge by the O-line.
Did you notice how he kind of moved parallel right about the time they snapped the ball?
Went towards the near side.
Yeah. So it's 3rd down. I would guess when Nimitz has the ball, if they're still up by 3 scores, they're going to pretty much use every bit of that play clock. I know it's not 5 minutes to go in the game, but can't be in a hurry.
It feels like it.
Quarterback keeper up the middle. That's a 1st down. That's the keep you honest and get a 1st down call.
Well, they were keying on Jaden Hall running to the near side, and right up the middle goes Maldonado. And a 1st down.
Now the Vikings are going to hit you with the bigger and stronger running back of Eric Williams, number 2, right there to your left. Look at the size difference between Williams and Maldonado. Let's watch Maldonado again just go right up the middle, and then a last-second block by the center, Michael James. Get off my quarterback.
Swan dive over.
Yeah, they're warning him. It's Gibson on the move. Fake to Eric. Maldonado keeps. He was trying to go deep. Pretty good coverage on that far side. And now the receiver and defensive back kind of lock horns a little bit away from the play, but he was trying to go maybe to Reyes or Walter over there on the far sideline. Not a lot of separation.
He had Stromey over the middle, number 18, trying to get open about 15 yards down the middle.
Well, he didn't throw it, so that keeps the clock rolling. I bet they go back to the ground again. And why not? Right up the middle. Just run over people, Eric. See, just like that, now they're within like 3rd and 1 or 2. Again, another difference, John. In years past, they would be like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. You get to 3rd down and 2.
Williams closing in on 100 yards. 9:40 to go in this one. Had 80 yards at the break, 10 carries for 80.
Oh, he could be at 100 when this one's over. And for all we know, he's going to go 55 yards on this play. 3rd down, low snap. Maldonado keeps. Nice lead block by Williams. Maldonado with the first, driven out of bounds. Vikings keep the football.
Well, he just sidestepped the defender at midfield and got an extra 4 yards.
He's slippery, that Maldonado. Referees say, let's wind this bad boy up. This would have to be one of the quickest halftime homecoming announcements that I've witnessed in my mega years here at ICTN.
Well, you're right.
Blew right through it.
We were both on the clock looking at it all the way.
We're like, wait a minute, we got to edit some highlights. Slow down. There goes Eric. Eric wrapped up from behind. Getting a little chippy out there, John.
Yeah, a couple players chirping. Among them, number 65, Praise Lucas. Let's give Williams now 100 yards.
Why not?
Right at it.
Campbell, the left tackle, locked horns with one of the defensive backs, Jackson, that last time.
Changing centers.
They don't want to take a timeout. You got 25 seconds. Do you have a center?
Well,
do we have a center, John?
I thought that Dennis Bonilla looked like was going to come on, number 63.
Oh, we got one. I think he's over the ball now.
Clock usage, just keep it moving. You have 40 seconds to get a playoff, and a timeout taken here.
Yeah, that leaves them with one. Batista, number 53, Alfredo Batista, is the backup center on paper. But they had Bayakala, number 58, out on center.
Dueling mascots on the near side.
The Viking straight from the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Now the eagle could fly, but the Viking can pull out that sword.
He can dance. Who knew the Viking could dance? We have a dance-off. Come on now.
Looks like the old North Texas eagle, doesn't it?
A little bit. Sure does. Fly like an eagle. All right, enough of this tomfoolery. The thing about taking a timeout, though, they could get James back at center, their starting center. He had some helmet issues, ear pads and such, not cooperating. So it's second down. Maldonado fakes a quick out. It is complete to Gibson. Gibson just buries his head down and gets a first down.
Well, he just got that off in time, did Maldonado. Gibson waiting for it. Takes it inside the 25.
A lot of patience for that sophomore back there at quarterback because they were breathing down his neck. And you're right. He bought just enough time, as you see the center, 77 back in. Bought just enough time to get that pass off and extend this quarter and give the Vikings another set of downs to work with. The clock, everything's just working tonight.
I said 40 seconds is 25 to get the play off.
You were thinking pro, right? Yeah. Maldonado slides very, very wisely down to the 19.
This drive started at the 12 as they held the Eagles on downs. No scoring in the third quarter. Vikings jumped out to a early 6-0 lead at 14 of the second quarter.
Eric Williams stays in at running back.
They've got these color-coded cards they hold up on the sideline, so just pick out a color of the play.
What if it's all just a fake, a ruse?
It could be. Yeah.
Handoff Williams right up the middle. Williams, score!
A 20-yard burn untouched.
Eric Williams with his 6th touchdown of the season. And that should do it, folks.
Ups the ante to 26, zip.
Can't say enough about those 5 guys on the line of scrimmage.
All seniors.
Opening holes, making plays. Extra point is good. And the Vikings have a commanding 27-0 lead.
Well, that was a nice 88-yard drive. Eric Williams, nobody lays a hand on him. You could have run through that hole and skips to the end zone.
I'd run out of gas.
I was giving you a little credit.
I know you were. I know you were. You see James 77 on that last end zone play. Did one block to his right, then he just went down to the second level, did a crack back or sealed it off for Williams. Eric is good. He's got a good line to run behind.
But credit that defense. I mean, they held the Eagles on downs at the 12, 88-yard drive. And a nice skip, a nice jaunt to pay dirt.
A skip and a jump.
About 130 yards now rushing tonight.
Should it still be called pay dirt since it's not dirt?
Well,
to the promised land?
I'm going to tell you what I used to call it.
Yeah?
Royal soil.
Royal soil.
DKR in the Horns, the 1969 championship season. He finds royal soil every time Texas would score. But yeah, pay dirt, end zone, green turf, promised land.
Ring up another. Listen, folks, these games have been few and far between. You either got to soak all this in, John.
27-0. It's been a great district opener for the Vikings tonight. Ooh, get some coverage down there.
Yeah, Anderson did a good job, especially after muffing the kick there at the beginning and then taking it across the 20 down to the, 22-yard line to get the market?
Yeah, right on it. Fourth possession of the half for the Eagles. Again, they were off last week. And their last victory came against South Garden, well, their only win this year, 2 weeks ago, 46-28.
Colonels have had it a little rough this year. There's some other teams that started off 2-0, 3-0. Also, one of the Garland schools, their first 3 games because of COVID, they didn't get to play at all.
There was a team in South Texas, same thing happened to them.
Ritter with 1 man behind him. He's got to pass a lot now. It goes to his left. Has 2 men in the area, but overthrows Seminik, number 18, out of bounds.
Being tracked by Walpool, Keyshawn, number 44.
You talk about a big player, number 44. That guy is very tall. I saw him in warm-ups. Both he and Duncan have some size to him. He's one of those players that played JV, and now he's trying to get used to what he's supposed to do. Stay in his lanes, stay where he's supposed to be. Don't let a play get fooled or past you. And this is a good opportunity for him to get some game time. Here he is again, bearing down on the quarterback, and Ritter's just had a tough night.
Well, it's kind of an awkward throw. I mean, you're running to the left, you kind of throw it off the back foot. Being hurried, hounded.
All of the above.
Rushed.
All of the above. So Ritter will go back to punt. Jalen King, one of 2 back. And receiving formation. I don't think they would do anything wrong. Well, there's a fight for the football. Vikings will have it 1st and 10 on their own 36 with 5:50 to go. The question is this when you bring in Ekonamu, number 16, the backup quarterback?
He's
no,
junior,
Maldonado's still
sophomore?
out there. He's a junior.
Yeah, he's still in there. But I do see Zayla Washington, number 20. Going to be a homecoming victory tonight for Nimitz on this September the 23rd.
Beakala, the starting right tackle, he's still in there. The starting James center, he's still in there. Washington will now get his opportunity to run, and he goes up the middle for positive yards. Nothing against Washington. I think it's just a byproduct. He's got a good line to run behind.
Shoved way back, but his forward progress, the 37 or so.
I would predict that you're just going to see Washington left, Washington right, unless they decide to keep him honest and have Maldonado keep the football on occasion.
Give him the 40.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be very shocked to see him throw the football at this point in the stage of the game.
Yeah, no reason to.
Yeah, but I can't tell you how many games I see coaches, if they run that offense where you throw all the time, that they just keep throwing, even when they're up by 3 touchdowns and 5 minutes to go. You see it a lot. Washington left side breaks a tackle, 1st down, flag. And this one's probably coming back. Washington's probably like,
But how bad do they want this shutout? I mean, collect a couple of more 1st downs.
Mario Garcia, number 54, called for the holding. Perkins, number 27, now in. Washington out. Washington kind of hobbles a little bit. Don't know if he got a Charlie horse. Hopefully that's all it is. He's played a lot tonight. So Perkins will now run, the 4th running back that we've seen for the Vikings on a 2nd down and 16. When you go 4 running backs deep, that's when you know you've had a good game, John.
Well, you said he has depth, and what a luxury to have here.
Perkins left side. Might got a little bit of that penalty back. It's all about the clock.
Eagles going to fall to 1-3.
We've got Irving and Berkner tomorrow night. That'll be another one for you to watch on ICTN and on YouTube. That game against, what was it? Was it Nimitz and MacArthur? They went to the last play of the game, and MacArthur threw the bomb to win it.
What a finish.
Oh, that was a great game.
Well, this will avenge the loss last year to the Eagles, 21-12. More importantly, collect a district opening win. Just stay in bounds. And
Perkins lost the football.
Now, came loose.
Yeah, they're fighting for it. They're going to give it to Nimitz. So it's 4th down. They're going to have to punt. The official says, wind that clock.
On that 25-second clock, they have.
Irving breaks that losing streak. What, they didn't win a game in 3 years, and finally won one against Molina this year.
30, I think it was 32 in a row.
Yeah. Nice snap. Gets it off cleanly. No one really wanted to handle the punt for Richardson. And their offense will get another chance. Just under 3 minutes to go.
Well, you know what the situation is in practice this week? Just fine-tune some of these special team mistakes. Right guys at the right place.
Yeah, it just has to be assignment, right? Assignment and know where you're at in the ball game. And then if your guy's not out there, then it's your responsibility to fit right in.
But it'll be a good week of practice with a win.
Coach Rogers said they had a good one even when they lost by that 1 point to Wiley East.
Yeah, 21-20. Or 29-28.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 point. And then a 1 point loss to open the season at, let's see, Princeton? Yeah.
Yeah, Princeton. Princeton's a good team. Wiley's a good team. That's when Coach Rogers said he felt like he had a pretty good team when he was able to compete with some pretty good programs. Alcorn up the gut. They get a first, but I think the Eagles know the end is near.
And so is our telecast. Drawing to a close. We'll see Mac in a couple of weeks against this same Nimitz squad.
Always a fun game. What's the temperature going to be outside, John, by then?
By then, game time 67.
Ooh!
67.
Ooh, John going out on a limb.
Couple of weeks.
John will have 2 cups of coffee that night. One in each hand.
No caffeine free.
Oh. Now what's the point?
The real deal.
What's the point? Anderson in motion. He slots to the left. Full backfield. Alcorn. He gets another first down.
Gain of about 14.
They wind the clock in a hurry. They're not waiting for the chain gang to get situated, John. They're like, come on, roll it.
What is that?
Roll it. Ritter hands off to Ford. This is just stats to
pad
cosmetic things up, yeah. I guess if you're playing fantasy football for high school, then hey, hand it off. Ford, multi-talented. Plays tight end, plays running back, plays blocking back. Alcorn just looked like he just stopped in midstream, didn't he?
Yeah, came to a virtual stop
Walpole.
at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I think he looked at Walpole Number 44 went, or Duncan, 45. He's got the second line of defense, no pun intended, in. Walpole, Duncan, Cham. Guys getting some playing time, so they know what it's like to feel the rush of making a play. Ford, last man off the stack. We should have one more play, or they might just say, this is it.
I think that's it.
I think Coach Pels and company have decided, let's just let the clock run down, and a well-earned shutout for the Nimitz Vikings. A homecoming win, 27-0. They pitch the shutout. Congratulations to Coach Rogers and staff for now going 1-0 in district play. We're going to recap this game. We're going to give you the final highlights and statistics and wrap everything up for you here in a moment, so stay with us.
John Nelson back here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. A homecoming shutout tonight for the Nimitz Vikings, 27-0 over the Eagles of Richardson. Well, Nimitz received the opening kickoff. They fumbled, but put together a pretty nice first half. On their second possession, they put together this Pedro Maldonado touchdown toss to Jeremy Reyes, 28 yards in all. 5:53 left in the opening stanza, 6-0 Nimitz. Their ground attack certainly on the march. Here's Marcus Grant. Grant up the middle for 9 yards. Not much on the ground tonight for Nimitz, or rather for Richardson. Ritter picked off twice. This is the first interception on Richardson's second possession. And then the ground game excellent as Maldonado races to pay dirt, 35 yards and all. That came with a minute 59 left in the first half. 13-0 Nimitz. Ritter picked off, wide open. Here's Damian Salas untouched, 28 yards on the touchdown return interception. Ground game, and the Viking defense just really on target all second half. Eric Williams with a nice stop. And then Williams, after this ground attack, Nimitz over 200 yards of rushing tonight. He'll take it 20 yards to the house, untouched. Eric Williams in the fourth quarter came with 6:49 left to play in the game. That put together a nice 88-yard drive by the Nimitz Vikings. Number-wise, all Nimitz, more first downs. They had 5 more passing yards, 230 yards on the ground, over 300 tonight for the Nimitz Vikings. The Eagles held to 166. Turnovers cost them 2 turnovers. They were not penalized. Vikings also had 2 turnovers, but really not hurt that much. 5 flags for 45 yards for Nimitz. So the Vikings pitched a shutout. They avenged last year's loss. And more importantly, Rob Woolman, they open up district play with a victory. They're 1-0 in district, 2-2 overall.
Ironically, with the 27-0 win, 27 very important because this was the 27th career win for Coach Rogers here as a Nimitz Viking head coach. Nice harvest moon overhead. They came in with their first home game of the season, and technically their next 2 will be on the road. They'll be here, but they'll be visitors. They have MacArthur on October the 1st, the Irving Tigers on October the 8th. They're victorious. They're 1-0 in district, and it's a great homecoming for everyone involved for the Nimitz Vikings. That's going to do it for our very first high school football game of 2021. For John Nelson and the entire ICTN crew, I'm Rob Willman. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you next time on the ICTN Game of the Week.